Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Zanthyst Gaming. We're here today in Diablo 3 for challenge with 127. Map is on the screen now. It will also be in the video description down below if you need it. This is an Impale Demon Hunter that is using Focus and Restraint, which is kind of unusual. And we're also using Wreath of Lightning in order to keep our seasonal buff up. So whenever we're hitting with our Wreath Lightning, it'll refresh our seasonal buff. And also it looks like our pets are refreshing our seasonal buff too, so that's kind of interesting. It doesn't look like it's adding on extra to it because you have to actually kill them to get the extra stacks, but it is refreshing it, so that's good to know. Because we have the seasonal buff and it's so good at clearing out screens and just providing extra damage, I would change my playstyle on this particular rift from an elite hunting only setup to a just clear most density kind of setup. We are running an Ingeom, so killing elites does benefit us, but I think if we just clear stuff as we go, it's going to work out just fine because of the seasonal buff. So I'm going to just do that, I think, for simplicity's sake. Legendary gems, he's running a Zaystone of Vengeance, which increases damage the further you are away from targets. And then the seasonal, or the set buff, gives you 6,000% damage increase, period. And then the very first enemy hit is dealt 75,000% extra damage. So when you're coming up on elite, you just want to get up to like point blank range and throw your daggers in their face. I would make sure I'm throwing out my generator every so often to get both stacks of focus and restraint. And that's pretty much the gist of how we're running this. Alright, so map is pretty straightforward on the first floor. Second floor, we're just going, staying to the right, looping around, and then actually it's going to be staying to the right, and then here we're going to stay along the outside wall to the left. So just kind of looping around. On the third floor, we're going to go forward, come down, hit the channeling pylon, clear a little bit of stuff, then double back and go. Come down, double back, and go on to the next floor. So, kind of a weird route. If you want to just loop all the way around, you can. You're just going to waste a little bit of time backtracking. I think you do either way on this if you want to hit the elite and the pylon. You could just go a little bit and then go up, but there's just a lot of really good density on this floor, so I feel like it's worth doing. You do it however you want. The timer's pretty forgiving. Alright, let's go ahead and jump on into this. Don't forget to activate your cloak at first or you'll be really struggling. And we're just going to walk in and start killing things. No big deal. His tumble is in a terrible location. I should have rebound that to be somewhere else that is less of a pain in the butt, but I didn't, so whoopsie. That said, it's fine. It's not a big deal, really. In order to get the Ingeom proc, you do have to kill the minions who come with him, the ones with the yellow stuff underneath their feet, so make sure you're doing that. Otherwise, you won't actually get the benefit from it. Oops, I don't want to drop the stacks, so I'll just do that real quick. Keep it going. Okay. And we're just going to keep moving through. As we said, the pets, as well as the Wreath Lightning, do refresh our stacks on our seasonal bonus, so we don't have to worry too much about it. I'm just killing stuff and moving through as I can. And boom. I should probably be using my generator a little bit more than I am. It does generate even if you don't hit anything. So I guess every few feet you could throw a generator shot out would be fine. I'm just going to pop through him, kill that, grab the speed pylon, and we're going to make sure we get all of his little friends that came with him. Luckily, our seasonal buff does a nice job of clearing that out, so we don't have to worry about it, really. Just going to keep moving down this way, I think. Next elite should be coming up right here. So again, getting within point-blank range before we fire off our abilities on the Impale setup will ensure that we get a very quick kill on them. Whoops. I stood in something I shouldn't have stood in there. If you find you're running out of hatred, you are running Blood Vengeance, so you can grab some extra hatred just by grabbing health globes. So that's something to keep in mind. In addition to throwing out your generators every so often, is you can just make sure you grab the health globes that you see spawning all over the place, and that'll keep you topped off on hatred. It actually makes a really big difference, so make sure you're doing that. Once you get the channeling pylon, though, you're just pretty much good to go. You have all the hatred you could possibly need, and you just walk through and kill everything, right? No big deal. And we're just going to pop that for even more cooldown reduction. Make sure we kill the elite ads for the Ingeom proc. And we're just going to keep moving throughout. I do think I dropped my seasonal buff at some point there because I'm down to 175, and when I was getting the map, I was up to like 400 something at this point. But that said, if you do drop, it's not the end of the world because they're pretty good bonuses as you ramp up as well. So honestly, dropping it's not a huge deal. And like I said, the timer is very, very forgiving. So if you eat a death like I did earlier, it's not the end of the world. You should be just fine. We don't have a whole lot of defensive stuff on this build other than the Vengeance that he's running and the Elusive Ring. If you find you're taking damage, it might be because you haven't vaulted recently, so make sure you're maintaining your vault damage reduction with Elusive Ring. That'll make a difference for you as well. Watch out for the charges from these bowls, sorry, because they'll make they'll chunk your life really good. That's what I'm trying to say. And I do want to kill them because they're decent progression. I'm starting to run into the issue of not having any hatred, so I want to try to find an elite. And with the elite, we'll get kills, and we'll also get health globes, which will give me back some hatred. So I'm going to do that. In addition to the progression globes, of course. And then the elite should be, or the Rift Guardian should be really easy to kill. Just don't die to them. So, not too hard, pretty easy challenge Rift. Hopefully it helps you guys if you're struggling at all. I don't imagine too many people will struggle with this one. It seems pretty easy. I think that as long as you're grabbing health globes as you go, we should be in this range. You'll be just fine. Honestly, you could do it a lot quicker than that too. The death I ate cost me a lot of time, but just grab health globes, refresh your toughness buff with either Shadow Power for Elusive Ring or Vault for Elusive Ring, and then just clear stuff and let your seasonal buff do the work. It's pretty easy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like, favorite, share, subscribe. I did cave in and play like 24 hours of the season because I wanted to. But I decided to do a when the weekend ends or when I die first on my hardcore character. That would be the end of it. And so I went for about 24 hours-ish, and then I died. I was kind of tired. And pushed up to like an 87 or 88, I think, and got in the top 10 on the leaderboards for when I did it. And I felt pretty good about that. So when I died, I was a little frustrated, but that was a good time to stop the season for me. We're going to be moving into a new house, so time for stream is going to go way, way, way down over the next couple months. So that's kind of what we had to do. And hopefully you guys still like the challenge Rift, guys, even though I'm not going to be playing the season on a regular basis this season. I will pop back in with a vengeance next season. But either way, thank you guys for being here. I'm done rambling. Have a wonderful night. Like, favorite, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll see you next time. Bye, YouTube. Bye, Reddit.